taking three.
Going for the St. Louis now.
Oh no!
Son of a bitch.
You get your two?
Yeah. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thotgor here, of course. And today I've got a video in my Gnevny. Yes, this is the Tier 5 Russian destroyer. So that's what we're going to take a look at today. And you'll notice as well, I'm grouped up with Toad King and Ray as well. So this should be an interesting battle. Now, just while it's loading up here and we're getting into battle, I do want to mention as well, unfortunately, in yesterday's video I mentioned that I might be putting up a video on Saturday of like sort of talk radio type thing, a funny sort of show about nothing, I guess you could say. But unfortunately schedules are not working out, and we won't be able to get that up this weekend, but we are shooting for next weekend. So just a little update on that for you guys. Alright, now jumping into the battle here. You can see that originally, we are going to the north. While we're on our way to the north, myself and Ray, because we are both in destroyers, are going to do a little hangout here at B and just see what we can see. Now the Gnevny itself, if anyone has a Gremmy, then the Gnevny plays more or less like a Gremmy. I mean, you have some great guns on this ship. They have great range. The torpedoes are really where it's lacking. You can see there, torpedo range of 4 kilometers. That's all you've got. But these torpedoes are a lot faster than what you're going to get on the Gremmy. The Gremmy, of course, has a torpedo range of 8 kilometers, but those torpedoes are really slow. So, your focus on these Russian destroyers is more or less typically a gunboat. This is the extreme. If we were to look at a scale of destroyers, you'd have the Japanese on the left side at the extreme left, dealing with torpedoes only, basically. You'll have your Russians on the extreme right, dealing with guns basically only. And in the middle, somewhere in the middle there, you'll find your American destroyers. So that's more or less how the spectrum of destroyers is working at this time in the current version of ships that we have. So you can see I put a few shots when I was cruising around in B. I did put a few shots into a Clemson that was over there. Right now we are turning because we've noticed that more or less the entire enemy team is heading south. We've already capped the north point. I'm not going to continue along up there and come around and work my way down south that way. No. Instead, Ray and I, we both pop our boost ability and we are cruising down to A as fast as we can. While we're on our way to A, we don't see any reason why we cannot put some shots into any lowly ships that might still be in the B point. For example, this St. Louis. This guy had a rough day. He did not have a good day at all. Not sure, what his problem was or what was going on, but it wasn't a good day for this guy at all. You can see he came into the center, realized that a lot of ships were here, a lot of my ally ships were here, and we all just start pumping shots into him immediately. The enemy still does have some destroyers over there, right, and they did get some torpedoes off, and it hit a few of my allies, but no big deal. No one died as of yet, and the St. Louis is gone. Fantastic. So continuing on towards the A point in the extreme south of the map, Razio and I at this point are talking about smoke screens. Who is going to lay the first smoke screen? So Ray wanted to lay the first smoke screen because he's on, if you'll notice on the mini-map there, he's almost starboard to me, he's almost on the starboard side to me, there he is there. He wants to lay the first smoke screen and then he wants me to drive into it. I suggest, I'm going to come around this island first. I will lay the first smoke screen, he can come into my smoke screen, and then I can circle around in on mine, save his for when we deal with the enemies, and then we can use his as we're trying to push to clear the A point, or maybe even to cap the A point. So that's the plan we decided to go with. I'm going to launch my smoke screen first. Taking a look at some of the ships that we can expect to see here. So we can see this guy here. Alright, taking note of him. I believe it is a South Carolina battleship. So Tier 3 American battleship that we're going to have to deal with here as we come around the corner. And he's on fairly full health at this time. But you are quickly going to see what happens to that guy. There is an enemy Clemson, yes. He rears his ugly head again, and he's going to try and prevent Ray and I from getting into this point. Now, I see him. There he is. I don't actually have him targeted, but I know he's going to be in that area, so I have popped my smoke at this time, and I've launched my torpedoes, and I'm going to try and line up my guns to get some shots on him. He, in the meantime, did manage to launch some torpedoes as well. I take one to the stern, down to half health, but I managed to stay alive. Ray is right behind me, helping to support me, keeping in mind that in your Russian destroyers, your turrets turn incredibly slow, so that's why I have to turn and then kind of go straight to let my turrets catch up here, and Ray gets the kill, so that was awesome. Good job there. The Clemson managed to get another round of torpedoes out, but I'm able to avoid those without any sort of difficulty. We do have a number of enemy ships here now, though, that we need to be aware of, and I'm down to half health, so I can't take too many hits, because this is a destroyer, right? It can't take that many hits, and in fact, it's more likely to detonate on you than anything else, so don't want that to happen. I want to help the team and get some guys gone. So here we have a what is that? Kolberg. So that is the tier 3 German cruiser. He's coming around, and I immediately start putting shots into this guy because I know that firing high explosive into him, I'm going to be able to do some good damage to him. More importantly, though, set him on fire and get some of his modules broken down. So that's going to help everyone. You can see he's not targeting me at this time, so that's pretty great as well because he's got a lot of guns that fire rapidly, and I'm in a destroyer. Sure, he's tier 3 and I'm tier 5, but that doesn't mean anything at all. If he decides to switch his guns and shoot at me, I'll easily die from this guy. Luckily, though, not only am I shooting at him, but Ray's shooting at him, and a number of our other allies are shooting him as well, because Toad King is down here as well with his Murmansk. So the Murmansk is really helping us out. I mean, it's great to have cruiser support when you are in your destroyers. It really, really helps, because typically the enemy is going to focus, typically the enemy will focus on the cruiser and leave the destroyers to just be, while the destroyers, wreak havoc and take down enemies. There's the Kolberg. He's on really low health now. There goes the Kolberg, so he's gone. One of our allies got him, so that is awesome. So the South Carolina that we had to deal with is now almost dead. Look at him there. He took a number of shots from my allies, but notice as well that we've lost the B cap point at this time. Yes, the enemy has taken B. We still hold C, so if we can cap A, we'll at least still have 2 cap points. I'm putting shots into the South Carolina because he's on such low health that I know that I can get him gone, and as you saw, I was able to easily dodge the shots he had for me. So a few last rounds go into him there. He is so close to death, just need to get those shots in there, and he will be gone. There he goes, and he's gone. Fantastic. So that's my first kill of the game, and now... Whoops, that was my phone. Oh well. But now I'm letting Ray take the lead here. He is the one moving into A now, right? Ray and Toad King. Because I don't have that much health left, and I wanted them to get up there. Ray still has a smoke screen. There it goes there. So now I'm going to be able to drive into the smoke screen and really use it to help keep myself covered. And in the meantime as well, any enemies, you can see one there that they're shooting at, they're going to be focused on Ray and Toad King and not myself, which is good. They're the ones who went around first, so logically they're going to be the ones who get fired upon first as well. We do have aircraft coming in. We've got some torpedo bombers on their way. I have not shut off my AA guns. I'm going to keep them on because I want to help Toad King in his Murmansk, because Toad King is really the stone in all of this, right? The strongest point in all of our little advance here. We need the cruiser support to continue our destroyer push like this. We did have an enemy destroyer, and I had commented, enemy destroyer, you want to watch out for that guy. We can see him right there. There he is. He's a Clemson, and it looks like he has managed to dodge the torpedoes that Toad King sent out in his Murmansk, right? Not to fear, though, because Ray has also launched torpedoes in his Gremmy, and they are making their way towards him. He pops smoke and we lose line of sight. You can see we have a number of enemy cruisers out there. I think those are Omahas. And then Ray gets the awesome torpedo hit on the Clemson and he's gone. So fantastic. That was a really, really nice torpedo spread. And luck more than anything basically, but always hilarious when that happens. One of the enemy cruisers is now gone, so that's great. We only really have to focus on that one. But remember, we have lost the B point, and the enemy at this time is now capping A. So we have to kind of take stock of the situation. Sure, we're kicking a lot of ass here, but you just can't get too full of yourself because the points are really close. Technically, the enemy is leading, so we want to make sure that we're able to do something. Now, we did just kill an enemy ship, so now we have the lead, so that was great. But again, we still want to put some pressure on B and cap B. Don't want to take any chances here, right? At the end of the day, in these domination battles, your cap points are the most important thing. It's not about killing all the enemy ships, it's about your cap points. Sure, killing enemy ships will get you those cap points, but keep in mind, since 0.5.1, 0.5.1.1, I guess now, right? Yeah. They decrease the value of getting ship kills in terms of killing an enemy ship and having those points added to your total. They've decreased those numbers now to make it more focused on the points themselves, which also helps to keep the battle team oriented. A lot of people on the forums, I see it all the time, talking about how they're dying, they can't get teams to work together, and blah 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 blah. And yeah, that is going to happen when you don't work together as a team. If the enemy team is working together as a team and your team is not, you don't have much of a chance. So remember, check your egos at the door and try your best to work as a team. Even if the team isn't coordinating in chat, use your own brain. See where the enemy team is going and try and support them in their efforts. Rather, see where your team is going and try and support them in their efforts, I should say. Yeah, don't support the enemy. Now we have managed to take the 8 points. So the 8 points are ours. In the meantime, the enemy did cap C, so we've lost that cap, but we are now pushing and kind of capping B. We're still sort of fighting it out for B, so we do have a ship in B taking it, but the enemies have ships there as well, and they're putting shots into our capping ship, which is resetting the cap points for us. So we need to do something about that, and we need to help support our cap at B. Now it's just Razio and I left, right? Ray and I left. Unfortunately, Toad King did die. So yeah, our cruiser support is now gone, so we need to play a little more cautiously. I mean, Ray does have full health more or less, but I'm sitting on some pretty low health here because I took some fairly big chances, we'll say, earlier in the map. So there's Ray, and he's stopped in his smoke, and he's putting fire into this enemy ship. I don't like stopping, so I'm sort of cruising around as I can, and you can see that I'm getting shots in where I can. Now, I mentioned I don't like stopping. It's because I'm not used to it, and I think it is something that I need to get used to, especially playing this Gnevny with the slow rotation speed. Very beneficial, I think, to just pop smoke, stop in the middle of the smoke, and just fire, because you'll notice as well, for the most part, I'm not detected. I mean, I am getting detected. It's because I'm driving it in at a smoke. Had I just stopped, fairly confident that I'd be able to fire my guns without actually being detected, which probably would have been for the best, but whatever, it all works out for me anyway. So I'm making one last loop around Ray here. You can see while we were putting shots into the enemy battleship here, we did manage to take B. So now we have A and B. The enemy only has 3 ships remaining, so if we can get these guys gone, then we can win the battle. Yeah, and I mean that's the main goal here that we want to try, but we do also want to keep in mind that there is an enemy destroyer remaining. The enemy destroyer late in the battle, I've talked about it before, a destroyer late in battle is deadly. If you are a destroyer captain, and if at all possible you want to try to survive the battle, because you will come in so handy, especially in the late game when there's only a few enemy ships left and you're using your stealth to your advantage and you're able to get some crafty torpedoes off. Yeah, you can make all the difference in the world to your allied team just by simply trying to stay alive. Really important to try and do when you're in a destroyer. It's just so critical. So you can see I'm closing the distance on the Miyogi here. Not concerned. I wanted to get torpedoes on him, but didn't happen, right? My allies are all over that guy. They managed to kill him. Fantastic job there. So now two enemy ships remaining. We've got a destroyer and we've got a cruiser. So I am getting in position. I want to try and take the destroyer because I don't want the destroyer to go in there and kill my ally. There he is, right there. At the same time, though, I am able to put shots into the cruiser, so that is nice as well. Just taking shots where I can, when I can, even though I have a plan, I want to go and kill the destroyer, it doesn't mean that along the way I can't shoot at that guy. There's the enemy destroyer right there. There is my ally cruiser. It's a Thotgor. Man, I wanted that Thotgor to live. Yeah, a little premonition there. But that destroyer, to his credit, this enemy destroyer is playing a really, really good game. Nothing wrong with what he's doing at all. He's trying to do it for his team, not giving up, and it's always refreshing to see this. There he is there. It's another Gnevny, and you can see our Thotgor, yeah, just went down. Whatever. So there's Ray, and he's saying to me, all right, Thotgor, group up on me. We're going to go in and we're going to take care of that Gnevny. So, okay, yeah. So Ray's moving up. He's in the first position. I'm coming in second position. And we're going to push into this B cap point to try and make sure that we can keep it. Because you'll notice the Gnevny is now capping the point. So we only have one cap that we're actually gaining points from, and the enemy has B. So yes, we are still in the lead, but it is still fairly close because the enemy has 2 ships remaining and we have 3. One of our ships is an aircraft carrier though, so that does give us a good advantage in terms of being able to deal out quick damage, and as well, Ray and I are both in destroyers, so that's another quick damage scenario there. There's the Gnevny. He's popping in and out of sight. I do not want to break line of sight with him. I don't want to go around the island and have to deal with all this, so I'm going to start doing some crafty maneuvers here, really using my throttle to make sure that I'm staying within line of sight of him, even though, yes, I know he's in smoke, but when he pops in and out, I want to make sure that I am in a position to take every shot I can possibly take at this guy to make sure that we can get him and we can win. Ultimate goal here. In the meantime, we did manage to take out the enemy cruiser. He is gone, so it's just the Gnevny remaining. We just have to deal with this guy, and then we will have sweet, sweet victory. Need to be careful as I'm coming around this little island here. Yeah, you can see that spread of torpedoes. That was launched from the enemy cruiser, I believe. You can see him there. He's just sort of sinking now. Gnevny sort of runs into him, and I think, all right, I'm going to launch some torpedoes, but there's just no time left. There we go. Well, a few seconds here once the points cap up. There it goes. We have won. So fantastic job by us. 140,000 credits, 2,500 experience. This is 1.5 times. And then we can take a look at overall results. So you can see it really was a team effort here. Ray took second, Toad King took third, and I am in fourth place overall. Not too shabby at all, I think. And I did have a good time in this game. And again, the game isn't about my overall results and trying to show you guys this big epic battle. No, it's just the same basic thing that I talk about a lot, teamwork. Really important to use teamwork in this game. You can see here, because of the game I had, I'm able to actually get the hull upgrade for my Gnevny, so that was great. But teamwork is so important in this game. It's not about greed and all that stuff. I get a thrill out of playing in a game where there's a lot of teamwork going on. Yes, obviously I get a thrill, and I'm getting a bunch of kills and just rocking out. That's cool too, but those situations don't happen very often. 9 times out of 10, it comes down to teamwork. How well can you random people work together to get a victory? And that's what we need to focus on in ships. It's great to have those awesome results, but at the end of the day, those awesome results aren't going to get you to tier 10. That's not the bread and butter of your grinding, right? Your grinding and all that experience that you need to get to your tier 10 comes from being able to work together as a team to get yourself average scores, right? Over time, that's what you want. So anyway, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much for sticking around, watching it through. Leave any comments you have for me. Love reading those comments. Hit the old like button if you liked the video today, and please do hit subscribe if you are not a subscriber. As always, folks, I do hope you enjoy the rest of your day.